This is Dr. Selene Parekh, the Fantasy Doctor. Welcome to a new thing that we're starting here at the Fantasy Doctors called our SIC episodes. Sports, injuries, and cars. And we're going to be talking about athletes whose injuries you care about, what the implications are for return to play, and how fantasy owners should work with them and think about them. But also at the end of each segment, we're going to talk about features of different cars that we are driving around in, using, letting you know what we think about these cars and the features that we like and those that we don't. So we're going to start off this week looking at the Jaguar F-Type, and through the course of this week I'm going to touch upon different features of the Jaguar F-Type, the 2017 Jaguar F-Type, that you may like and that may interest you, and things that I really love about this car. This is Dr. Selene Parekh, the Fantasy Doctor. Welcome to episode 2 of our SIC series, where we talk about sports, injuries, and cars. Now, first off, when we're talking about sports and injuries, we're going to focus on Gronkowski from the Patriots, tight end who is going to miss week 1 with a hamstring injury. If you look at the hamstring, it's a group of muscles that sit behind the thigh bone, and they go anywhere from the pelvis bone and the upper thigh bone all the way down to attach behind the knee and even in the shin bone. Those muscle groups are very important for allowing your thigh bone to kind of kick backwards, something that you really need when you're running, when you're jumping, and when you're doing agility motions cutting side to side. Now, there are 3 different grades to these hamstring injuries, grade 1 being a partial strain or strain, grade 2 being a partial tear, and grade 3 being a full tear, where it may actually tear off of the attachment site on the pelvis and take some bone off with it. Grade 1s and 2s almost never need any surgery. Grade 1s take about 2 weeks to get back on the playing field, and grade 2s take about 4 weeks. Grade 3s are kind of the ones that can take longer, 6 to 8 weeks, or sometimes need surgery. In Gronkowski's case, it sounds like he has a grade 2. He's about 4 weeks into his recovery and will be missing this weekend. What does that mean for week 2? Well, the real deal is how he progresses day to day and week to week in practice. Once he hits about an 80 to 90% normalcy on this side, that's when he's really going to be okay to clear and get back onto the playing field. Now, the bigger issue is, what if the Patriots rush him and he gets back too soon, too fast? Well, early in the season, when it's hotter, there's more dehydration, more exhaustion, more fatigue. That's where you may see these hammies become a bigger issue, where they recur and they continually become a nagging injury all season long. And so the Patriots really don't want to have that happen with Gronkowski. So look for them to take it slow with him. Obviously, he's missing week 1. Depending on how he does during the week, he may miss week 2. I would imagine that if the Patriots lose this week, then you're definitely going to see him back in week 2. So we'll see how this goes, and we'll see if these fantasy owners can activate him for week 2. So now we're going to talk about the SIC car that we're in. Again, we're in the Jaguar 2017 F-Type, and I'm featuring things that I think are very cool in these cars. And so we're going to take a look at the interior. Yesterday we took a look at the outside. Now we're going to look a little bit at the interior, and I'm going to show you some features that I really like. All right, so this is how it looks as we enter the cockpit here. And as any sports coupe, it's got a very low ride, which makes it very comfortable, makes you feel like you're in a cockpit or a space-type shuttle situation. Great dials in the front. I love the nice Jaguar logo up on the steering column. And again, you can see here, even for the passenger side, a very nice, tight fit. For me, it's not only about how the car looks on the outside, but it's also how it sounds on the inside. So we're going to turn on this engine. I'm going to stay quiet, and you can hear the roar of the Jag. So one of the first things that you can really hear and appreciate is that roar. I love that engine sound, and for car enthusiasts, you want to hear that engine roar. The quieter the engine, that's not really meant for a sports car. I also love the elevating vents. To me, it's like an animal awakening. And as we talk about this more in our 6th series, I'm going to talk about how I feel the awakening occur. So the sound is important. It's a great sounding car. You'll love it. You'll feel it wake up. We'll talk about the ride in future episodes. This is Dr. Selene Parekh, the Fantasy Doctor.
You don't have to be a car enthusiast to appreciate that vehicle. We want to send out our thanks to Kerry, Jaguar, and Land Rover for making that beautiful car available to us. If you like this video, please put a thumbs up on it, go subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the next one.